Hey guys, welcome back. This is Iris and Chloe taking a nap like always. Bringing you another video of self-love, self-awareness, and conscious manifestation, right? And what better topic to talk about today than something that has been happening to me for the entire summer, and I feel like I'm finally concluding it, and it's basically a huge abundance block that I have been able to release. So if you feel like you've been doing everything correct in the book and what you're asking for still hasn't shown up, or there's a little voice inside your head that keeps saying that it's not happening, it's not gonna work, then I definitely suggest that you stay tuned. By the way, we all have abundance blocks. Everybody has money blocks, love blocks, and they're really called abundance blocks because they block the flow of whatever abundance you're trying to manifest into your life, right? Excuse me. And so I want to talk to you guys today about a block that I've been able to remove myself from this summer, that it has taken me quite a while to work through it. And I even had to ask for help, which is a great thing, you know, when you're ready for the help and you say, okay, I surrender, I need somebody to help me through this. And so I basically had to release this summer of the idea, which is the idea that so many of us have. The idea of working hard for your money, thinking about that you have to put in more hours at work, thinking about how am I gonna supplement my income while my business is growing and I can work on other projects, right? But you always thinking about it in terms of like, I need to add something else, I need to add this, like this needs to, like, you, it's like putting on too much responsibility. Personally, I have a growing business which I'm crazy proud about, right? At the age of 32, I've been able to find my purpose in life, and this didn't come easily. This came with a lot of self-development and a lot of work, and then now I help other people do the same thing, which is amazing. However, there was another thing that I was projecting out into the universe that was not helping me, and that is to always be busy, to always have multiple things happening at the same time. And when I started to deconstruct that, it really meant it really meant working hard for my money. So another way that working hard for my money was revealing itself as well was through a very strong and sometimes mild ache in my left arm. I am a lefty, a visionary, right? But I am a lefty, therefore this is my dominant arm, and I would wake up in the morning and my arm would hurt, and I would think like, oh, I slept on my arm, and you know, I'm putting too much force on my arm. I did everything possible. Like I don't even wear watches anymore because it was too heavy on my arm, and this pain went on for a year and a half. Okay, that sucked majorly. This pain went on for a year and a half. No matter what I would do, the pain was always there. So everything started because I asked the universe, I was asking the universe that I want things to come easy into my life. I was asking the universe for some amazing, awesome, big manifestations, and I wanted them to come easy. And that's where the problems started. But the problems only led to solutions. When I started asking the universe that I wanted things to come easy into my life, especially money, especially opportunities, at first I was like super excited because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it come easy. I'm gonna put all my manifestation power, and then I'm gonna teach this and blah, blah, blah. And then I was creating resistance. And the resistance did not necessarily come from the outside. The resistance actually was coming from the inside, from my mind. The resistance kept saying, kept manifesting itself into this little voice in my head that says, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's too easy. It's not gonna happen. You know, or it's too hard to manifest something so easy. Oh my God, that was like really it, right? So then I started like digging deep. And when, I had to do like, I really had to re-examine my beliefs in these things. And this is where many of us get stuck, right? One thing I do want to point out actually is that I remember having a client in hypnosis, and we asked, because in hypnosis, at least through my hypnosis, after a while you can communicate with your helpers from the other side. You get signs, you get really amazing, beautiful messages. So she was actually going through an experience of that, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna tell her to ask, why is it that my arm hurt? So the answer that I got was that I don't trust enough in the universe. When I heard that, I was almost insulted. My ego did not like that. That was kind of hard to hear. However, there's always a bright side to things, and it stuck in the back of my mind. And then that was like a year ago. Now, you know, moving forward to this summer, when I started to examine my beliefs into why do I think that life needs to be hard? Why do I think that making money is hard? Because that was some of the beliefs, that making money is hard, right? And then all of a sudden that conversation got in my head about, you know, not trusting enough, right? So then let's go back into that for a second. Trust. Let's go back into trust. Trust. The only way that we can trust is if we feel safe. And guess what? Most of the time, we don't feel safe. We don't feel safe to take the chances and quit our jobs. We don't feel safe to take the chances and ask somebody out on a date. We don't feel safe and take the chances of ask for an opportunity, for a raise, for a lot of those things. And that was what was coming up for me at that moment in time. And so I realized that I actually didn't trust. And it's like, why? Why didn't I trust? Because I was putting all the responsibility onto myself, all the responsibility for creating money, circumstances, and situations for myself, instead of trusting the universe and let the universe guide me. So how do you trust the universe and let the universe guide you? You first have to release the one thing that is causing you disturbance in your life. At that moment in time, I had to let go of one of my sources of income because it was wearing me down, but yet my mind couldn't let go of it, because the way that my mind saw it was, well, it's a little money extra, it's a little money extra, it's money extra, like, you know, safety, safety, safety. But the thing is that the universe will always compensate you when you finally release and surrender. And so I couldn't let go. It took me a while to do it mentally. It came up on layers and layers. And when I finally, I mean, I'm making the story super short, but when I finally got to the bottom of this belief of why do I have to work hard for my money, or why making money is hard, God, I mean, even thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds terrible. And most of us have it. First of all, what I realized is that this comes from my ancestors. This comes also from the lineage of generations and generations of being middle class and adapting middle class systems into, you know, my mind and the way that I perceive the world. And most importantly, this came as well from my family. I was basically taken to a moment in time where I remember seeing my parents struggle, or so I thought they were struggling, you see. Because another thing that I noticed is that I had a childlike mentality that my parents struggled. We have what is called a subconscious mind, and everything that has ever happened in your life gets stored in the back of your mind, which is called the subconscious mind. And you don't quite understand, but it is triggered through emotions and belief systems. And so when I started to dig deep into understanding this idea, how was my, you know, childhood growing up with my family? And I remember that my parents used to move around a lot. So in a way, I used to move around every couple of years because my parents always wanted a bigger house. But with bigger house or with houses comes responsibilities, mortgages, money. And I just remember hearing my mom all the time talk about that there's not enough money, and that, you know, the mortgage needs to be paid, the cars need to be paid. However, it's not that my parents suffered financially in a sense that we were poor. As a child, when you hear your parents say these things, you are concerned. And so then you start to adapt some of their behavior later on as adults. And I realized that I had to face that part of myself if I wanted to become more successful. If I wanted to become more successful, I need to understand that, first of all, rich people don't work hard for their money. And I want to get to a very high level in my success, right? So I needed to let go of working hard for my money. Another thing is that I can't do everything alone. If I need help, I need to learn to ask for help. And another thing is that I needed to forgive and release that memory, or those memories that were stuck in the back of my mind that made me think that working hard for my money was the only way to make money. And those were the memories that were stuck with my parents, and I needed to release that part of myself, forgive that part of myself, so I will not continue to adapt that system of belief, because it was no longer serving me. And not only that, but I was asking the universe, and I'm still asking the universe for bigger things. And with bigger things come these types of challenges where you have to leave certain ways of thinking, certain parts of yourself of thinking, you know. And the beauty is once I was able to actually face that, my pain in my left arm went away. Oh my gosh, yes. It's really like magic. And that's another thing I want to stress. When we have aches and pains in our bodies, and gosh, even diseases, even colds. Like when you get a cold, the real reason why you get a cold is because you're taking up on too much on yourself and you haven't rested. So your body naturally puts you at rest through a cold. And so when I was able to face that part of myself, it was like magic. It was like magic. I literally let go of this pain. I've been embracing a lot, taking things slowly. I have been embracing having more time in my life, and money seems to come in a lot easier than what I was working and striving for before. I felt like before I had to be on all the time. And this time I take my sweet time, knowing that whatever I'm doing has a purpose. Being grounded is the only way that you feel safe. And what does that do? That messes up with your financial stability as well, because that is all part of your root chakra. Yes. So let this be an amazing and insightful video for you. What are the thoughts that are reoccurring in the back of your head when you're trying to manifest something that takes you back to zero, right? Okay guys, I hope this was a very insightful video for you. I love you all. You know you can catch me anytime on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe or hit a thumbs up. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, you're more than welcome to share this and share the knowledge, share the love. Like my page if you want to have more of my content. I also have the Awakening Hour every other Thursday where we go deep into these subjects, and it's very awesome and interactive. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.